What is up, earthnoids and spacenoids? I am just a simple new type, and in this episode, we are returning to Universal Century 0082 in Char's deleted affair. Last time, Haman was officially made Menevazabi's caregiver. This is for the most part ceremonial and serves no purpose other than to bolster morale, but it seems to still be overwhelming to Haman. In this episode, we will see the EFF prisoners attempt to break out of Axis. While this is happening, Char will be running training exercises, so it is up to Haman to save the day. So let's get into this. Last episode, Oksana accidentally stumbled and Char caught her. Haman just so happened to see this. She replays this moment in her mind over and over again. She is way too distracted and postpones her etiquette lessons. There's a lot of white people on YouTube getting views on teaching etiquette. I'm jealous. Maybe I should start teaching snobby table manners instead of Gundam history. She excuses herself and goes to work out. Natalie is running right next to her. Haman tells her the situation and Natalie says that it is clearly love. Haman is embarrassed. They begin talking about Oksana. They wonder why Char is assigned to be a glorified tour guide for her. Meanwhile, Char and Oksana are having ice cream. She wants to show the people of Side 3 everything of this place. She says many are trying to immigrate here. Char, however, suggests she paints a more realistic picture of what this place is like. For the average person, it is quite a harsh place to live. She says that Char should come to visit Side 3. He wonders why she is trying to get him to Side 3 and if Maharaja Khan has something to do with this. Out of the corner of his eye, he notices someone is tailing him. He tells Oksana he is done for the day. Enzo is meeting with some of his men at his personal estate in Musa. They have confirmed that the battle data of the GM was indeed on the level of the Gundam. We get an offhand comment of getting more funding and putting that into cloning research. As we are currently going through Double Zeta, we have met one, Ella Pipuru, whose DNA will be cloned. They go on to talk about how they have hastily created a detention center for the EFF POWs. They didn't expect them to have so many soldiers. They move on to talk about their next discussion, using this sense of urgency to start another war. Racken, Andy, Ricardo, and others have requested that Captain Char give them a training exercise. They want to prepare in case another attack on Axis happens again. One of Enzo's men, whose name I already forgot, gets on Char's back. Remember, he has been placed as head of the Royal Guard, a position to push him out of the way. Char tells him that this has been approved and to piss off. Oksana meets with Maharaja Khan and she tells him of the situation. She wants to know why Maharaja simply doesn't tell him that he knows about his true identity as Casval Rim Daikun. He thinks that if he were to approach him in his current state, he simply will deny it and that will be that. He understands that the 1-year war has made Char somewhat bitter towards war. It seems he wants Char to return to Side 3 to ignite that fire inside him once again. Meanwhile, Haman thinks of Char while in the shower. She wonders why she has feelings for him. I'm not going to show the image of Haman in the shower. Go masturbate on your own time. The team heads out to do some training exercises. They are still struggling, but they push forward. Enzo's men goes to monitor Char in the control room, but they have moved into S-Field where Minovsky density is really high from the battle. He mentions to Enzo's other underlings, whose name I can't remember, that he was the one who sabotaged S-Field during the war to hide the rogue Xeon ship. Dude is boldly talking way too loudly about being a traitor. After meeting with Maharaja, Oksana gets lost in the corridors that she shouldn't have access to. One security member goes out to help. At the same time, Axis is transferring EFF forces to the new detention center. Oksana happens to cross paths with the prisoners. She distracts them long enough to take out the Axis guards. They tie up the security guards and hold Oksana as a prisoner. One man finds a terminal and hacks into Xeon's systems.
Fight the planet!
Axis instantly recognizes the hack and goes to stop them. They hack and trap Maharaja in his office. Dario, that's his name, Dario, is trapped in his office as well. Suddenly, one of his men comes in looking for something. Dario wants to know how she opened the door, but when she goes to open it again, she now can't. They are both trapped in the office. After messing with Axis, EFF hacks and breaks the rest of the EFF soldiers out of prison. 2 of them put on Xeon uniforms and pretend to be the ones transporting prisoners. They head to the mobile suit hangars. In the hangar, I want to say Monica? Enzo's forgettable underling number 3 is complaining that her Gelgoog isn't getting fixed by the mechanics. He tells her that the Schnee Weis has priority over her unit. She is mad as she wanted to see the GM's test flight. Test pilots are waiting in the wing, stuck behind some doors. They are already running 15 minutes behind. Some guys come in and say, "Sorry, the test has been canceled," and punches the test pilot in the face. Nice action one-liner, bro. EFF soldiers are still trying to find their GMs. They are still locked in the control room. Natalie isn't an expert, but she uses the terminal to connect to Xeon's main systems. It seems that everyone's ID has been deleted, which is why they no longer have door access. She recognizes that the air control systems function independently, and that is probably their point of breach. They have an elite hacking battle that ultimately leads to nothing. They have to move fast. It seems that Mosa is too far from their current location. Some of the EFF soldiers aren't going to be able to be saved. One soldier says as long as one of them can make it back to Earth, it will be worth it. They need to use this opportunity to find their battleship. He looks up information on a Xeon officer they could use. They happen to find data on Enzo. One of the EFF soldiers pretends to be Enzo and tells one of Axis soldiers that they intend to take the Magellan-class ship out and detonate it into space. He pressures him to make it happen. The soldier says that an army with a strong chain of command tends to become weak if you drop the right name. Meanwhile, in the hangar, Monica is stuck, just like the rest of the soldiers. That is when the EFF soldiers dressed as Xeon soldiers come in with Oksana. Monica instantly finds them suspicious. She starts interrogating them about which side they grew up on and notices Oksana. That is when the soldiers rush to the GMs. Monica yells out, but the EFF commander knees her right in the gut. She goes to chase them, but the main airlock is about to open and she doesn't have a spacesuit on. They need to get to the emergency airlock. Back at the command center, Natalie is still doing some hacking. She is informed of a hangar opening. She realizes someone is trying to take the GMs. She has full access to the Schnee Weis, however. That is when she notices that civilian IDs are still functional on Axis. Haman might be the only one able to launch. Natalie tries to get a hold of her. The GMs are up and running. Before they are able to launch, Monica comes in with her Gelgoog and takes out one of the GMs. Haman finally picks up the phone, but she doesn't want to fight. Natalie asks her if her big speech was simply impulsive. This motivates her to go out and help. Meanwhile, Monica chases the GM out into space. Haman must use a regular spacesuit as there is no time to get access to the Psychomo suit. In Lieutenant Hines' office, he is able to make contact with Maharaja Khan. Both are really unable to do anything from their end. Hines asks permission from Khan to use the secret line to attempt to communicate with the command center. He allows it. Hines gets into contact with Natalie. She gives him the rundown on what is happening. We learn that Monica is still chasing the remaining 3 GMs. She wants to know if there is anything that they could do. Hines tells her that Maharaja has an emergency reboot protocol, but he is worried about life support systems as well as the possibility of losing all data. It is truly a last resort. The one EFF guy hacking into Axis is going to stay behind, while the rest of the team is trying to make it to the Magellan-class ship. They need someone to stay behind and control all the doors. He says that he will come back for him. The sucker that was convinced by an EFF soldier is prepping the ship with supplies. After finishing his job, he realizes that something doesn't seem right about this operation. Good job, buddy. Haman gets in the Schnee Weis. She realizes that it is prepped for testing and that she doesn't have access to a beam rifle or access to her bits. All she has to work with is the beam saber. She is nervous about her first close-range combat. As the EFF soldiers make their way to the ship, that dumb Axis soldier actually takes action and begins firing on the prisoners. Meanwhile, only 2 soldiers are now with Oksana. She uses this opportunity to take out 2 men while giving you sick degenerates a nice panty shot. She apparently has some kind of combat training. The 2 soldiers she knocked out gets up and rendezvous with the rest of the EFF team. Natalie's sick hacker skills is giving the EFF hacker a run for his money. He will have to stay behind and deal with her while the Magellan escapes. Haman is able to catch up with the 3 GMs. 2 escape while 1 goes for the attack. They engage in battle. Char is able to sense Haman. The ghost of Lala tells him to go to her. He is distracted for a moment. Rakan comes in and tries to shoot him down, but Char is still fast and able to dodge. He tells the team that he is going back to Axis briefly while everyone continues training. The GM soldier and Haman continue their battle. She is holding her own, but her beam saber isn't going to last long. The EFF soldier is taking out all her hatred towards Xeon onto Haman. She is able to sense all the hatred on the battlefield and wonders why there is so much hate in the world. She calls out for Char. And that will do it for this episode. During this escape, we learn that Axis is quite fragile, and its ecosystem can be disrupted easily. Unfortunately, way too much attention is given to the hacking in this volume.
High the planet! Shut up!
Hacking really isn't interesting in a manga, and it is just back and forth face reactions for the most part. So riveting. In our next episode, the Magellan will continue its escape, and Racken will be the hero and save the day, while Enzo gets people killed. But that will do it for now, new types. If a woman from Side 3 asks you too many questions, they may have ulterior motives. Peace.